Do complex legal issues hold you back? Let's get energized and bring clarity to your top legal questions. This is Law Talk with the Flock by Goosmann Law Firm.
Hello, I'm your host, Jeana Guzman, a CEO, lawyer, author, and woman business owner, here to help navigate you through the law, your business, and life as a leader. For today's episode, I have with me attorney Jeana Eckel. Jean is a multifamily housing and real estate attorney here at the Goosmann Law Firm. And today we're going to talk about the evictions moratorium that will be expiring soon. Welcome, Jean.
Thank you, Jeana.
Now, Jean, before we jump into the topic at hand, can you just give our listeners an overview of who you are and your practice?
Yeah, so I've been practicing law for about 21 years, and for about last 10, 11 years, I've been working in the landlord-tenant law area of practice. I represent the multifamily industry, so that would be the property management companies or owners of the apartment communities around the Omaha metropolitan and Council Bluffs area in Iowa.
And your group is expanding at the Goosmann Law Firm.
It is expanding. We're going to hire a new associate. Her name's Danielle Bueno, and I'm excited to have her. She's got a lot of experience in the real estate industry, in particular with development, 1031 exchanges, so the transactions of purchasing and selling properties. So I'm excited to have her on the team.
Outstanding. So, Jean, let's talk about what has the eviction moratorium been and what does it mean that it's ending for property managers?
That's a good question. And, the moratorium by the CDC, it originally was supposed to expire on December 31st of 2021. And then it was extended to March 31st, 2021. And then now it's been extended to June 30th of 2021. And really, what it means to apartment owners and the multifamily industry is that it's really making a huge impact on the revenue that they're receiving. And I think there's billions of dollars that have been lost in revenue by people not being able to pay rent. Right now it's expected to expire June 30th. We don't know if it's going to be continued again. Just kind of need to kind of put our finger in the wind and see which way it's blowing. And I don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully within the next week or two, we'll find out what the administration is going to do with that moratorium.
So, if the moratorium on evictions ends, what's that mean for tenants?
Well, what that means for tenants is those tenants who have not been paying rent throughout this moratorium, all that rent's going to become due, and they're going to have to pay that rent as required by their state law. And if they don't, well, then they're probably going to look at being evicted. What the moratorium did is it said, yes, you cannot evict someone for not payment of rent if they meet certain requirements, and they provided a declaration stating that they met all those 5 requirements. But they still have an obligation to pay rent after providing that declaration. So if those tenants did not pay rent after they submitted that declaration to the property manager or to the landlord, then there's going to be a lot of money that they owe that's accrued over that time.
What are some tips that you would give for property managers on how to avoid issues?
Well, that's a good question. So, it really comes down to, I think, the service that they're providing. So, a lot of times people, they rent an apartment, they want to live in a nice place. If they get broken, they want it to be fixed. They want the amenities that they were told about, that they're available and that they're working. And so I think one of the big items or issues that a property manager can do is make sure that when is something that needs to be done, let's say maintenance, that they address it immediately, because that's going to make the tenant feel happy. I know I've talked to one company and I said, look, I don't see a lot of evictions from your properties. What are you guys doing? And they said, look, we know our tenants' family members. We know the names of their kids, the names of their dogs. If they have a problem that needs maintenance, that needs to be fixed, we're on it. And I think that's the key there, If you're going to be a property manager, you need to make sure that you're addressing the issues that the tenants are dealing with.
Jean, how can the Goosmann Law Firm help property managers?
Well, I think the one thing that we could do is we're there at any time they need help, and we're there to answer their questions and help them out immediately. I think a lot of lawyers that do landlord-tenant law, um, they may not answer the phone or answer the email right away, and that's what we provide them. We provide that service to them, and we provide it quickly, and we have a vast knowledge of the law, so we can answer their questions not only on landlord-tenant law, but they might have an issue where maybe a resident passes away. What do they need to do with all the personal property of that deceased resident? They have to work with the friends and relatives that want to go in and get the personal property of those residents. And so we need to be able to answer those questions. Or let's say a resident files for bankruptcy. Well, now what do we do? Because as you know, Jeana, if someone files for bankruptcy, there's an automatic stay that prevents, in this case, a landlord from evicting them for the amount of money that they owe. So they need someone to say, hey, this is what you need to do, and we can solve that problem for you very quickly. And then there's going to be other areas that we can help the property manager with. Maybe it's going to be a lawsuit filed against the company or the property. Maybe it's going to be an issue where they have a problem tenant, and how do they deal with that type of situation? Or there's going to be situations where they say, we need you to review our lease and make sure it's up to date with the current changes in the law. So that's what we can provide our clients and property managers that are dealing in the multifamily industry.
Outstanding. And as they have success, we're able to help them with that too if they're growing and want to build more or acquire more properties.
That's right. That's what we add to what we do for them.
Well, thank you, Jean, for sharing your insight. Have a great day, everyone. Go make it worth it. Goodbye.
Thank you, Jeana.
Thanks for joining us for Law Talk with the Flock by Goosmann Law Firm. We hope you feel energized and ready to soar past your goals. Become a Flock fan and subscribe to our podcast for weekly episodes. Learn more at goosmanlaw.com.